Hello, this is a video demonstrating how to perform simple interrupted suture. Before we get started, I would just like to clarify that this resource is not meant to be any sort of medical advice, and it's simply just an example of myself practicing the suture. Please seek expert opinion from a qualified medical professional. So if we get started and have a look at the incision that we've made, this is a vertical incision on the model, and beside it you can see a couple of red dots that I've made. Um, the the marks were made using this scalpel that was provided inside the kit. If you can have a closer look at the scalpel, there you can see that there is a measurement ranging from 0 centimeters to 5 centimeters. And what I've done is I've simply just aligned the scalpel along the length of the incision and just drawn some rough measurements or marking points, and each distance has a difference of 0.5 centimeters, which is the definition of what's required to perform a simple interrupted suture. The idea is that we would suture along these lines that are 0.5 centimeters apart to close the incision that we've got here. So let's start from the first point roughly, and for the purposes of this video I will demonstrate roughly 3 to 4 sutures. So we go in with our needle pointed at a 90 degrees into the skin, and we do a pronation motion that easily lets us access into the skin without causing much damage and trauma to the tissue itself. We come out on the other side and we evert the skin on the other side, and we try to come out roughly the same distance from where we initially came into the skin. Just like that. Then pull one of the then pull the sutures and make a long end and a short end, the short end being here. And we've spoken about this instrument tie in one of our other videos. So if you're still not sure how to perform that, please have a look at the other video. But for now, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to quickly perform the surgeon's tie, the instrument tie. So that's our first suture done. I'm just gonna grab the scissors to cut both of the ends so that we can get started on the next suture along the line. That's fine. Again, using the needle holder, we'll get a hold of our needle, and we'll now go on to the next point in the red dot. A reminder is that the red dot is just for practice, for beginners, because the more experienced you get, you will be able to better judge a rough distance of 0.5 centimeters. So this is not always a necessity, but something I would encourage students to practice with. So we go along to the next red dot now, which is somewhere along this line. Again, with the same supination technique, we enter the skin and we come out on the other side roughly at the same distance. Again, making a long and a short end, and I'm going to do another surgeon's tie, another instrument tie. One last throw to go, and let's cut the sutures again. Now we've got one more suture to place for the purposes of this demonstration. Again, with needle at 90 degrees, let's follow along to the next point, which is 0.5 centimeters away from the previous point. We go into the skin with a supination motion, come out, try to achieve an equidistant incision or the point of exit. Sorry, we've just lost the needle here. the 90 degree, the needle being at 90 degrees is key because with any other angle there might be more trauma put to the tissue, so we want the 90-degree angle to be maintained. So you can practice this at your own pace so that you do it properly. And lastly, we do the last bit of instrument tie. As you can see in the operating field, it is quite important for us to have good lighting, so that you can visualize the sutures properly and not make any mistakes. So when you're practicing, make sure to try your best to achieve good lighting as well. So that's 3 throws done on the last suture as well. And let's cut off the sutures. And just a very brief look into, if you can zoom into the suture itself. We've tried our best to place the knots on the line of the wound incision, and that would help us, or that would help the wound in terms of better healing. And you can see that the wound is closed. Obviously, while practicing, try to close the entire length of the wound, including there and there. But this I've only done 3 sutures just for the purposes of this demonstration of a simple interrupted suture. Thank you.